Hey guys, this is New Sensei. A couple of years ago, there was a video posted on the official World Archery YouTube channel. This video was a barebow challenge. It featured 3 Olympic archers, Brady Ellison, Jean-Charles Valadon and Juan-Rene Serrano. And they removed their stabilisers, they shot at target 30 meters away, and it was kind of a joke. I mean, their form was terrible, their shots were all over the place, some of them were missing completely, but in the end, it was a fun challenge between 3 Olympic-style archers. I personally had a lot of fun watching it, I had a laugh, and thankfully, I didn't read the comments, which is probably a good thing. While the video is old now, it still is a very popular video, and unfortunately, it's occasionally used as evidence by certain traditional shooters to prove that Olympic shooters are terrible at archery, that they rely on their equipment, that they need all this stuff as a crutch, and that barebow shooters and trad shooters are so much better. From what I've experienced, there's always been a bias against sport-style target archery. I'll save this for a different video, but the amount of vitriol on that video from the elitist traditional shooters doesn't surprise me. And I haven't commented because I didn't really care about it at the time, but occasionally somebody uses that video as evidence that Olympic shooters suck. So why do even the top Olympic shooters suck at barebow archery? Before that, I want to clarify what the challenge actually was, because many commentators and observers have linked to the video and have commented without even bothering to watch the preface where they explain what they were doing, and they just looked at the part where they're just shooting everywhere on the target. The actual challenge was to take all the equipment off their bows and shoot 30 meters using as many arrows as they can in 20 seconds, and the highest scoring archer wins. It's not just a barebow challenge, it's a speed shooting challenge. And above all, it's a fun challenge. They're not trying to prove anything, they're not trying to win anything, it's just a bunch of guys who are dicking around before the World Cup. And having fun promotional challenges is not unusual in sports. You have people who play soccer tennis with giant tennis balls which are kicked around. That's not a statement for tennis or soccer. It's just a fun thing that people do to entertain viewers. The speed part is arguably the most important one and what most commentators are ignoring. They're shooting as many arrows as they can in 20 seconds. Now, as part of a friendly competition, they're still trying to get points over each other, so their approaches are actually quite different. You see Valadon, who shoots as many arrows as he can, and he gets a lot of 1s and 2s and 3s. You see Serrano, who gets like a 10, and then shoots 1 or 2 more arrows. And then Brady Ellison, who shoots actually reasonably for what he's doing. Bear in mind that we know that Brady Ellison is a compound shooter, and he is a hunter. So he probably has more experience in doing this than his other competitors. So to clarify, they are shooting at an unfamiliar distance, in unfamiliar timing, with unfamiliar equipment. That is the key to why these guys are so terrible. Remember, their equipment is chosen and calibrated to be shot at the 70-meter standard Olympic distance. That is what they exclusively practice at. So at 70 meters, they'll hit golds. But you put them in any other situation that they haven't trained for, of course they won't be as confident or anywhere near as good. Now for you trad shooters who are boasting about how good you are shooting at 30 meters with no sights, if that's what you practice, of course you should be better. I would fully expect you to be much better than the top athlete shooting at this distance with no practice. If you take your traditional gear and move to 70 meters, you will probably be just as bad, if not worse. You cannot compare your years of experience shooting in this particular range and discipline to somebody who has never done so. You cannot say that you were a God-gifted traditional shooter who could hit bullseyes at 50 meters the moment you were born. You had to practice, you had to learn, and you had to spend months and years at the range getting that experience down so you can do it consistently. You cannot make the same standard apply to people who have never done it before. And if you think that sights automatically make archery too easy, pick up a sighted bow, shoot at 70 meters and see how well you do. I bet most of you who think this won't even touch an Olympic recurve because you're allergic. See, I'm fine holding a trad bow, but then some trad shooters are like, yeah, it's not like using my space age modern materials, too easy. There's also a tiny detail which I think most viewers didn't spot. None of these shooters have any finger protection. They're shooting with no gloves and no finger tabs, which means they're using their 50-pound-ish Olympic bows with their bare fingers with no reference points, and they're just flinging arrows as fast as they can. They're not going to shoot well. Even if you've built the best calluses ever, you're not going to shoot as cleanly off your bare fingers as you would from a tab or glove. And look, 50 pounds on the fingers is going to sting a bit. The main point, however, is experience. If you spent more time practicing at this particular distance with this particular kind of gear, then I expect you to do much better. These guys have had zero preparation and zero practice in unfamiliar conditions. You cannot expect them to be anywhere near as good, if even effective or accurate at all. It's a completely new position for them to be shooting their Olympic gear, which, as I said before, is calibrated for them to shoot at 70 meters with sights. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Brady Ellison has a traditional bow which he uses for short distance, fun practice shooting, whatever. I mean, I would have trouble using my own Olympic bow to shoot barebow at 30 meters. I have done it already, but it's weird. I can shoot other people's target bows because I review them, but my own bow, which I've only shot Olympic style with sighted stabilisers, feels incredibly strange when everything's taken off and I have to shoot with it. I am completely fine with shooting a traditional bare bow, but my Olympic bow is meant to be shot Olympic style, and that's one reason why I think even with practice I'll never get it to feel right. So to conclude, if you're a traditional shooter and you can nail that bullseye every single shot at that distance, good for you. If you are trying to use this video to prove that Olympic archery is easier than traditional archery or real archery, then you are completely wrong. The only thing that this video proves is that you need practice to become proficient, irrespective of what discipline you shoot. So my question for you in this video, and being more positive and constructive, for those who specialize in one particular style, whether it's compound or traditional or Olympic recurve, how much exposure have you actually had to the other styles? Why is it that you choose to do one more than the other? Post your comments below. This is New Sensei giving you another archery annoyance.